Now, I thought I would do this one today on International Women's Day because it is exactly 4 years to the day that Meghan and Harry went on Oprah and turned the royal family's life upside down. Meghan Markle, here we go again. Her latest exploit, a cookery show from Love Meghan, or with Love Meghan, has finally aired. It shows Meghan sharing her cookery tips with different guests in her farmhouse just a few miles from her Montecito mansion. And for once, you'll be pleased to know that I actually found it quite useful. In fact, I've even made something. Look, a flour in ice cubes. Ah, sorry, it's melted. Oh, hold on, what about this? Never mind, what about this one? There you go. You put the tea bag in, don't leave it for too long, and then you take it out without squeezing it so it isn't bitter. Perfect. A green tea. Very good. Sadly, I didn't have time to watch it all because I had better things to do. But a few bits did stick out, like where she explained why she wants to keep her Duchess of Sussex title.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now. You have kids and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
Yes.
And that feels so, I didn't know how meaningful it would be to me, but it just means so much to go, this is our family name, our little family name.
I think she's a bit confused. The family name is Mountbatten Windsor. Sussex is the title, which is actually quite interesting from somebody who isn't prepared to set foot in the UK. She's got a nerve, hasn't she, trying to hang on to the title. Does she even know where Sussex is? And she hates this country. She made it absolutely clear. On one of their faux royal tours, I think it was the one to Nigeria, or it could have been Colombia, which Nigeria and Colombia are actually both considered some of the most dangerous places in the world. She met up with Prince Harry at Heathrow and didn't even leave the airport. Remember that awkward moment where they had to stand for the national anthem in Nigeria? They hate the monarchy. They've made no secret of it. Meghan apparently won't set foot in this country because she thinks it's too dangerous for her. Prince Harry has said as much. Why cling on to a title for such a dangerous place? What an insult to the people of Sussex. I think she's a bit confused as well. Like I said, the name is actually Mountbatten Windsor, not Sussex. That's not their surname. The reviewers of the series haven't held back at all. Hollywood trade Bible Variety magazine, once one of the biggest fans of Meghan Markle, suggested that she didn't have the natural savvy or competence of doyens of the cookery and lifestyle TV field, and they mocked her vacuous comments and creations. Time magazine, who in 2021 named Meghan as one of the most 100 influential women, called her bland and pointed out that instead of showing us the reality of life as royal, it is focused on their own rigid propaganda machine. Despite all this criticism, With Love Meghan is in the Netflix top 10. On her Instagram, she posted, "If you're loving season 1, just wait until you see the fun we have cooked up on season 2. Thanks for joining the party, and an endless thanks to the amazing team and crew who helped bring it all to life." Oh God, make it stop, there's more. Well, joining me, presenter and journalist Ellen Coughlin. Ellen, thank you very much for joining us today. So, Ellen, am I being unfair? I mean, the critics have literally slammed it. No one's saying that this thing is any good. Where do you stand? Have you watched it?
I have watched it, actually, and although it wasn't my cup of tea, it's not something I would generally like to watch. I do see the appeal for people who do like that kind of lifestyle, the kind of like really kind of Instagrammable cookery shows. So, you know, I do see that there is an audience for it, but I know that not everybody would love it. And it mustn't have done too bad, because actually it made top 6 in the US on Netflix. So, and it's also been released for a second series. So yeah, I don't think it's done too bad, although the ratings say otherwise. But I think that's because everyone has so much of an interest in Meghan that they all ran to watch it the second it was released. And even though they probably weren't a fan of her, then they still continued to watch it. And of course, if you go into watching this show as not a Meghan fan, you're only going to come out of it as not liking the show. There's no way you're going to go, actually, I do like her now after watching a show when you've spent years not liking her.
Well, no, that's not necessarily true. If I went in really liking her and then started watching her and then ended up not liking her at all. So it can flip either way. And I'm just wondering, though, do you think, because she's got a second series, do you think, in your view, that it is something that will have legs and have a third and a fourth? Or do you think that the second series will pretty much be the end, like a lot of her things, like the archetypes stuff?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I hope for Meghan it does, just because I know her lifestyle brand, The Tig, had millions of followers before she closed that down. So it is definitely her thing and it's what she's good at. So it would be great if it gets another series. Like I said, it's not something that I personally like and I personally watch, but I can see that Meghan fans absolutely love it. And she's gone back to her roots now with something that she's more comfortable with. So it's really good to see her in the zone where she's comfortable. And yeah, hopefully the second series does well.
What about the title, though? The fact that she's keeping the title, but she said it's going to be, she wants to have a family name. The family name is Mountbatten Windsor. I don't know whether she's confused about how that all works out, but she's saying that Sussex is the family name and all that, but she hates the UK. She's made it quite clear. There's no secret there, as does Harry, so it would appear. She doesn't want to set foot in this country at all. Do you not think it's a bit of an insult to people of this country that she wants to keep the title and, of course, a place name, Sussex, which is in the UK? She's probably never set foot in it.
Do you know what? I was kind of surprised myself when I saw her wanting to use the term Sussex, but I did a bit of research afterwards, and although it's unconventional for royals to do that, it's not uncommon. Harry and William both used the name Wales, so it was Harry Wales in the military and in school. It's the same with William's children. When they go to school, it's Charlotte Wales. Also, if you look at Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, she's often referred to as Sophie Wessex, even though that is not her surname. It is the former title of her husband, the Earl of Wessex. So this does happen within the royal family. It's not uncommon. It won't be her legal name, I'd imagine. It'll still be Markle on her passport. Who knows?
But the point is that she hates this country. And I don't think I'm saying anything out of turn here. She doesn't want to come here. She stayed in the airport that time when she was meeting with Harry, and then she did not set foot properly on UK soil. You could say Heathrow is, but that's not going anywhere or going to meet him or anything. And Harry has even said as much that he doesn't want her to come here because he's worried about her safety, even though they went to Colombia and Nigeria, which are considered quite, tough countries if you need a big security cavalcade to go there. So just seems a bit odd that if they hate this place so much, why you would want to keep this Sussex brand and title. Well, it's a place in the UK.
Yeah, sure. And I have a theory that they're leaning into the Sussex title now. Now, I don't know for sure. This is just a theory. But maybe because of the feud with the royal family, I feel like they're trying to distance themselves from the Windsor name because that's the name of his family. But he still wants to hold on to his roots, which would be the Sussex title that Queen Elizabeth gave him. And it's also the title that their children have. So as a family unit, I'd imagine this is why they want to use that title.
I love the mental gymnastics you did to try and explain that one. That was great. I suspect the reason they did it is because there's money in that title, and if they lost all connection with the royal family, they wouldn't be able to monetize their connection anymore. And I suspect that is why they really want to do it, and they proved that in the documentaries and things that they've sold on the back of it, books and everything, all on the back of the titles. So do you think this is now a path that Meghan will take now, and this is going to be a successful thing, and that her brand will improve, considering the sort of feedback that Variety magazine and all the magazines have given her, the negative criticism?
Listen, whether you like it or not, no matter how you feel about it personally, it's still their title and it is still their name, and they are entitled to use it if they want to. Like, facts, your feelings don't change the facts. Like, they have been given that title by Queen Elizabeth. It has not been stripped from them after the royal family.
No, an Act of Parliament could remove that. So, you know, then you're not... You get a royal entitlement until you do something where you no longer become entitled. It can be a birthright initially, but that can be changed, and that can be changed by the government of this country, yeah. So you're not entitled
it could be, but it hasn't. It hasn't been.
Not yet.
Yes, yeah. Well, maybe we'll have this debate again if it does, but they still are entitled to that title. They have it. They've been given it by Queen Elizabeth. She'd be rolling in her grave right now if she heard this conversation, because she gave it to them. She wanted them to have it.
Well, I don't think so. She'd be running in a grave. I don't think it's because they have the titles. Probably because she told them that you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the monarchy. Either you're in or you're out, not halfway in between. And she told them specifically not to use the titles or to take advantage of the royal family in that way. And they have, in my view. Right, thank you very much. Really good to talk to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, there's always something going on in the royal household, and this week has been no different. And every Saturday I love to give you a rundown, and who better to do so than royal biographer Angela Levin. She joins me now. Angela, welcome. Let's talk about Meghan Markle's cooking and lifestyle show. Welcome, so good to see you.
Nice to see you too. It's very, very complicated. I think it's extraordinary that someone should have this arrangement of all these cooking things, and then a number 2 friend comes in and you give her a whacking telling off because she so calls her Meghan Markle. Instead, she said that her name is no longer that. She's got a proper name that she's had for a long time, Sussex, and she should have talked to her like that. I mean, it sort of knocks you for 6 because she's trying to be nice and invent people to enjoy themselves, and she whacks them. The general feeling is that she's doing that to say to the royal family that you try and take away my titles and you'll be in trouble, because otherwise what on earth could she be doing? She made countless mistakes. Things she organised to put in the bath, actually, I won't say what it was made of, but it was actually dangerous. And because she didn't measure it properly, it could burn your body, right? She didn't touch the bees. Most of them were dead. And in any case, she couldn't have done that without her hands covered and much more protection. And that's ridiculous. The sprinkle is an obsession because anything had sprinkles on, whether you were a child. I don't think children at birthday parties or anything like that want sparklers everywhere. And these little sparkles were there. She said she doesn't like baking, and she certainly doesn't know how to cook spaghetti. And the whole thing...
I was going to say, a lot of her critics weren't that impressed with it either. But, I mean, they're giving her a second series.
Well, they're giving her a second series with what's left over. It's not actually new stuff. She probably have got different clothes. She spent 130,000 on clothes so far. And most of them are neutral colours because she likes that. But she actually, if you remember, when she was working for the royal family, she said she had a terrible time because they would only let her wear colours that aren't bright because they didn't want anyone to look at her. I mean, in this sort of situation, why would she say these things? I mean, it is very, very extraordinary.
Listen, Angela, we're running out of time because it's a very, very short. We had to squeeze a bit at the end. But hopefully next time we can get you in the studio and talk to you for a lot longer. The brilliant Angela Levin, that she returns my Royal Roundup. I'm so pleased to have her back.